Growing up, and I had a great father. He has so much love for his kids. He had a lot of kids, by the way, with a lot of different ladies. But my father settled in life. We were month to month, and maybe even a little less than that. And my father, and we were so broke, but yet my father would go to the gas station to buy a lotto ticket. A gas station. And he was waiting in line buying that lotto ticket and thinking that was his only way out. See, that's called suffocation. That's just living in a box. And growing up, I obviously realized that's not the case, because as a waiter, I used to wait on people that had success. I would listen to the conversations. It would strike up my curiosity if you read my book, Upsiders, or listen to the audio. But my father didn't think that was possible because he lived in this box that he created. The only way out was to win a lotto ticket. It just broke my heart. It breaks my heart when I think back. And now when I go to a gas station, pump some gas, and I'm seeing these incredible people like my father, they have so much potential, they're all in line for the lotto ticket. And number one, what can they be doing instead of that? And they just don't believe it's real. They don't believe they're of worth. They don't think they're the lucky ones. We create our luck by attacking opportunity, and only if my father got out of that box and have a different lens. And right now, if you're listening to this video, guys, I'm going to ask you to do something. I don't expect everyone to do. I'm just hoping one, whoever the hell's listening to me out there, do this. That was my father's lens. Just do this right now. Now do this. That could have been my father's lens. Seeing life differently, seeing all these possibilities different. Very important, guys. Don't fall victim. And we do generational patterns. We start repeating what our parents did, say, their mindset, how they think, because they were taught that by their grandkids. And this is just a generational pattern. We grew up in poverty. It was normal. This was normal to live like this. It's not normal, but we lived in a box. Widen your lens. In order to widen your lens, you got to move some people away. Maybe even leave a zip code like I did. I had to remove myself from a zip code. I found out as I was migrating through life, growing and changing in life, I had to continue to surround myself with people that were going to push me to become better, to become a better leader, a better Bobby. It forced me, because I was always a star in my ecosystem. And you can't really grow because you can never really measure that pivot. It's like somebody else is in front of you. Okay, how are they doing that? What are they doing? And you start really chasing it more. If you're the smartest person in the room and you're the average of everybody, there's nothing that's gonna happen here, because no one's outbeating anybody, meaning more effort. Surround yourself with extreme passionate people that are obsessed to achieve great outcomes at high levels. As I became accustomed to this, because I practice this in my life, I started doing the same eventually in our business. See, a Florida business, it's tough to recruit people from California in that technology business to come join this company. We had to have the confidence, and it's something called communication, people skills. See, I come from no money, but I had to learn how to communicate with the world. I didn't have to get caught up in these personalities. I had to really be transparent and really convince others that I want more in life, and I can change their life if they can change my life. And when you have that cohesiveness, great things come out of it, guys. But if you don't have a company, if you have a small company, it's cool, man. Start where you're at. Who is your ecosystem? Who is your team leaders in your company, your family, your association, your environments, your friends, your family? Do you need to change some of those people so you can upgrade? Not because they're bad people. You just want somebody in front of you that's going to keep you accountable, keep you passionate, so you can pick up this new routine to understand the power of being around people that are better than you. When I say better than you, they're chasing life more. They're passionate. They're obsessed. They're investing their time. They're not wasting their time. They're so obsessed that they fall out of the uncommon conversation. They become, their circle's really tight because they're so driven. That is the passion I'm talking about. That is the obsession that you need to create in your life if you're trying to create it for other people's life and recruiting them to come work for you or partner up with you or say yes to your close, your sale. How passionate are you? Are you extreme? I was speaking to a lady, very nice, and she was traveling, and she went to the Netherlands, which is Holland, and her friend was living there for 25 years, living in Amsterdam and all that, and talking about, finances and all that, how that world's going versus our world, how's the rents and all. And I was asking her, I said, well, how much does she pay for, and she lived in a 2-bedroom, her friend, how much does she pay in rent? Oh, Bobby, I can't ask that question. So many of us, and just maybe you're around individuals And it's the same old conversation instead of receiving information that's going to help you size up life. And so many of us, not me, they think these are sensitive questions they shouldn't ask. Man, you're not going to grow, guys. You're not going to be able to change this mindset until you get curiosity. So that's something to be very, very mindful of. When you're in an ecosystem, when you're in a conversation, hopefully networking, going to a conference, a free conference, get uncomfortable. I hope you put yourself asking questions instead of the same old questions with your friends, your family at the barbecue, whenever you get together, because chances are it's going to be the same old conversations you've had year over year, every party, same old conversation. There's no growth there. But if you put yourself in a box, changing up that conversation so you can get information, so you can size up where you're at in life, where life is at, what's possible. Very powerful, guys. Maybe one day you want to sell your business as I did my business for $1 billion with a B. 1 billion. It is possible. What happened with me was so critical. And I didn't know, guys. No one told me anything different. When we start a business and we have a small business, we tend to fall victim to hiring anybody quickly and their friends and family. Because those are the instant people we know. Because we haven't really expanded our network of human capital, networking. Networking is so critical. So I used to hire a lot of friends and family. So only people I knew. They did not have somewhat the skill set of that job description. I totally ignored it. As we went into business and as we were growing business and as a leader pushing people to do better and more, but without the skill set, without their passion, their obsession for the eagerness to want to earn more, it's really a hard lift. And it kept our company stuck for a moment because I was being stubborn and I was rooting for them, trying to inspire them all day, every day, give them everything I can. Yes, some did pivot, but most simply just couldn't pivot because of the close relationship with friends and family. It's very sensitive. The communication is different. They get offended. They cast judgment. They don't understand the pressures you're under, your passion, your goal to want to grow this company. And I had to part ways with some of them. And that was very painful. But I wanted success so much for my legacy, my grandchildren, their future children, so much that I knew I had to do that. And talk about an uncomfort zone. That's very uncomfortable. And we had plenty of friends and family that worked for the company. But slowly I had to migrate myself out of that situation because I knew I was doing more harm to myself, to the company, to the future of what I desired in life, and I was doing no justice to them. I was preventing their growth because they just weren't growing. So you know what? Grow somewhere else. It's totally cool. I love you, man. Even if I have to love you from a distance and you hate me, you dislike me because I have to make this rough decision. Well, guess what, guys? If you're an entrepreneur, you're a business owner, you aspire to be a business owner, you want to get there quicker than I, don't fall victim to that. Take a time out with friends and family and hire other people. There's plenty of people out there you can hire. It just knocks off a lot of sensitivity. And there's a lot of chaos, there's a lot of friction, because there's a lot of love. We communicate differently than if I communicate with somebody I really don't know and I hire. I am going to really stick to what's called business. There's no interference, there's no politics, there's no favoritism. It is what it is, guys. I'm just telling you, I'm giving another Bobby some advice, another Sophie some advice. You'll get there quicker, man. Life has no ceiling. Life is so amazing. How I have my lens on life is so bright, so awesome that I can't wait. I can't wait to wake up in the morning. I can't wait to activate and get as much as I can out of this day. I'm so excited about it. And then I go around, there's so many people that have the opposite lens, the opposite vibration. And why is that, man? Well, maybe they should start taking care of themselves, because whatever you put in your body, whatever you put in your mind, audio, reading, listen to this bull crap from your friends and family of why you're failing, why they're failing, listen to all the media with all this other crap going on, you're just suffocating your life, man. Not me. I'm creating my life. Every day is a new life. So if you're seeking change and maybe you're just changing your environment, one zip code to another zip code, and you're really radical like I was because I was obsessed, I'm gonna give you the number one tip for that if you want instant results. People skills. Your communication level has to be different than the current environment you're in now. The only way you know how to communicate and cascade conversation, communication, it's very powerful. It's the only thing I ever had. I had to really better myself, my communication skills, in order to attract the opportunity so I can activate it. See, I could put myself in opportunities, but I was failing because I was communicating differently, because I was communicating as if I was in my environment. See, another environment behaves differently. I go to China, they talk differently, they act differently. I had to bend to this environment. Now, Bobby, I'm not doing that. I'm not changing for nobody, man. I am who I am. Ah, man, you're gonna lose, dude. You're gonna lose. I tried it. At least for me, maybe other people have a different story. I had to bend to life. That means I had to stop this stubbornness. I had to let go of that ego, because an ego will never be your amigo. Communication skills, people skills are so important that it attracts the opportunity to come to you. You become a magnet. If you want to start a business, you want to grow a business, you're going to have to communicate with your customer base, your employees, recruiting people. You're going to have to negotiate some issues, some problems the company's going through. You're going to have to really better yourself on interviews. You're going to have to really realize, my gosh, I have capped out here in the company I work for. There's really no more growth. Yeah, I can get my increases, my 3% a year, whatever it is, but there's really no massive upside. The sooner you become of reality of that situation, the sooner you can start looking at, okay, what do I need to do? Well, number one, I need to get a possible second job on top of this job before I resign, so I can just maximize revenue, start getting reserves prepared for strategies. It's called planning. See, a lot of you are complaining about your job. You're not getting paid enough. You deserve more. I don't disagree with you. What are you doing about it, though? See, you can get caught up talking about this. And I know that by hiring hundreds of employees. That company sits over 1,000 employees today. So it's just human nature for you to say that. And normally people that say that are kind of stuck in life and they're frustrated. If you think you're worth more and the market bears to pay you more, why aren't you doing it? Because you're comfortable. You're scared. And that's totally cool if you're vulnerable and to admit that. You have to work on that, because if you're so scared about that, how many other things are you scared about? Are you saving money just to save and never investing? I know so many people that are saving money, they're actually losing money. Oh, Bobby, I make 5%. No, you don't. No, you don't. You can have $100,000 in your account. You actually have $93,000 in the account, because once you extract that from your account and you put it to work, you spend it, you're losing money. The objective is to invest, to save, to invest, not to save. I want to own my house free and clear. You're losing, man. You're losing so much time. And if this doesn't make sense to you, it's because you're around an environment that doesn't understand it, and they have convinced you it doesn't make sense. But if you remove yourself from that environment, you'll start seeing how it may make sense. The difference between someone that has an ego and someone that has high self-worth. An ego, it's all about me, I. An ego is wanting to impress you of what I'm driving, what I'm wearing, appear to have success. And if you do have success, you just want to tell everyone about it in an unpleasant way. Me, I, you're pounding your chest. That's an ego. Somebody, which I consider myself, that has really high self-confidence, self-worth, wants to make others successful. Because if I make others successful, that's how much more I can become successful. An ego, you're going to hit a roof. You're going to hit a ceiling. I know what it is. I used to have an ego in different forms, and I would hit a ceiling, and it prevents growth. It's all about me, I can do it better than anybody. And the company really got parked for a little bit until I was pressured by some great people, two individuals, Al and Eric, to say, Bobby, let go. Stop this friggin' egomaniac. You're not the best salesperson on the planet. You're not the only one that can do these numbers. We got to start growing. I let go of my ego. I became vulnerable, started being just open-minded. And sure enough, man, not one, lots of them did crazy better numbers than me. Think about the power of that. If you have an ego right now, how much are you actually suffocating your life instead of expanding your life?